You can feel it the moment you walk in. The smell is the same. The colors are familiar. But something about McDonald's feels different. Not nostalgic, not comforting. Different in a way that makes you uneasy. The prices on the board aren't what they used to be. The combos that once cost $5 now flirt with $20. The lines aren't filled with excited kids and families anymore. They're filled with quiet disbelief. And tonight, that disbelief is turning into outrage. McDonald's just crossed the line, and the backlash they didn't expect is finally here. For decades, McDonald's built an empire on one promise: affordable joy. A quick meal anyone could afford, delivered with the illusion of happiness. That golden glow wasn't just the arches. It was the feeling that no matter how hard life got, you could still find something familiar, cheap, and satisfying. But somewhere along the way, that promise was sold off, repackaged, and marked up. Today, McDonald's isn't the everyman's restaurant anymore. It's a luxury of convenience, and customers are finally waking up to the trick. The moment came quietly. A few viral posts on social media. A picture of a McDonald's receipt showing an $18 combo meal. A TikTok clip of someone ordering 2 McChickens and a Sprite, $21 after tax. What used to be a punchline became a breaking point. The comments flooded in like a digital riot. How did McDonald's get more expensive than Chipotle? What happened to the dollar menu? This used to be food for the people. And beneath every comment, one feeling kept growing: betrayal. McDonald's once represented consistency in a chaotic world. But now, even that comfort costs too much. The company blames inflation, supply chain issues, higher wages. Yet, their quarterly reports tell another story. Record revenues, expanding margins, billion-dollar stock buybacks. The math doesn't lie. The customers are paying more not because McDonald's is struggling, but because McDonald's discovered they can get away with it. They weaponized nostalgia. They monetized loyalty. They turned the golden arches into a toll gate. This isn't just about fast food. It's about trust. For years, McDonald's cultivated emotional branding, childhood memories, family trips, shared laughter under fluorescent lights. That kind of marketing doesn't sell burgers. It sells belonging. But what happens when that belonging comes with a surcharge? When every fry feels like a tax on your nostalgia? That's the crisis unfolding now. People aren't just angry about the price of fries. They're angry at what the price represents: the loss of something simple, honest, and human. Inside corporate offices, McDonald's executives call it menu modernization. Behind closed doors, they call it price elasticity. Those are just elegant phrases for what's really happening. A deliberate strategy to test how much you're willing to tolerate before you break. The algorithmic pricing models aren't just analyzing ingredients and costs, they're studying you. What you'll pay, when you'll cave, and how long before you stop complaining. Every digital kiosk, every app order, every limited time promo feeds data back into that machine. It's not fast food anymore, it's psychological economics. And that's where McDonald's made their fatal mistake, because they assumed you wouldn't notice. They assumed that convenience and nostalgia would silence frustration. But people are noticing, and they're not staying silent anymore. Across America, the unthinkable is happening. Customers are walking away. Viral videos show half-empty restaurants. TikTokers document $17 McNugget shock. On Reddit, users share new hacks for avoiding McDonald's altogether. The empire isn't collapsing overnight, but the cracks are visible, and they're spreading fast. The backlash didn't come from regulators or investors. It came from the people McDonald's built its empire on, everyday Americans who once saw those golden arches as home. Parents who can't justify paying $50 to feed a family of 4. Teenagers who used to hang out there after school, but now head to cheaper local spots. Workers on lunch breaks realizing they can't afford the same meal they serve. That's not just bad press, that's cultural erosion. And inside those kitchens, the story gets even darker. Employees are speaking out about impossible quotas, slashed hours, and burnout. McDonald's public image, the smiling crew, the clean counters, hides the reality of what workers face behind the scenes. Management demands speed records that break spirits. Automation looms like a threat, machines replacing jobs while executives cash bonuses. One former employee described it simply: "We make billions for them, and they can't even afford to keep the ice cream machine working." The irony isn't lost on anyone. The company that once symbolized the American dream now mirrors its decline. Corporate greed dressed as progress, efficiency masking exploitation. And every new policy, every shiny digital menu, every family bundle, only widens the gap between image and reality. because McDonald's still sells the illusion of value. But in 2025, that illusion costs more than ever, and people are finally asking why. It's not that McDonald's is failing. In fact, it's thriving, at least on paper. Profits are soaring, shareholder satisfaction is high, and executives boast about pricing resilience. But that's the tragedy. McDonald's doesn't need to do this. They're choosing to. They're choosing higher prices, cheaper ingredients, and fewer staff because it maximizes returns. And they do it knowing their customers are too busy, too tired, or too nostalgic to fight back. Until now, what McDonald's didn't expect is the ripple effect. When one of the most recognizable brands in the world betrays consumer trust, it doesn't just spark outrage, it shifts culture. Other chains watch and learn. Wendy's tests dynamic pricing. Burger King raises combo costs. Starbucks hikes menu items quietly overnight. It becomes an industry-wide contagion, because if McDonald's can get away with it, anyone can. But the reverse is also true. If McDonald's faces a reckoning, so will the rest. That reckoning starts with perception. The idea that McDonald's is no longer for everyone. Once that seed is planted, it's hard to unsee. People start noticing the cracks, the smaller patties, the soggy fries, the upcharge for sauce. They remember what it used to feel like to walk in and get a full meal for change. They remember the commercials that promised, "You deserve a break today." And they start realizing that break was taken away. The nostalgia McDonald's relied on for decades is now turning against them. The same childhood memories that built loyalty are fueling disappointment. Videos comparing old commercials to modern prices rack up millions of views. TikToks showing McDonald's 1999 versus 2025 flood feeds. People laugh, but it's not joy. It's anger disguised as humor. Because deep down, everyone senses the same thing. Something sacred was sold off, one price hike at a time. And when outrage meets memory, it becomes unstoppable. That's the storm McDonald's faces right now. They underestimated how much emotional equity they had built and how quickly it could turn into resentment. The golden arches still shine, but the glow feels colder now. It's not the symbol of cheap happiness. It's the reminder of what was lost. And as more people speak out, share receipts, and refuse to buy in, that cold glow spreads. Inside the boardrooms, executives are doubling down. They talk about premiumization, brand elevation, and strategic pricing alignment. They call it the future of fast food. But what they're really describing is the death of accessibility. They're turning fast food into a luxury commodity and calling it innovation. They're testing how far the American consumer can be pushed before breaking point. And if McDonald's has proven anything lately, it's that they're willing to push hard. It's almost poetic. The brand that once united generations now divides them. Boomers defend it. Gen Z rejects it. Millennials mock it. The internet, once McDonald's playground, has become their courtroom. Every viral receipt, every angry TikTok is another exhibit in the case against corporate greed. The brand that once sold smiles now fuels sarcasm. Because when a Big Mac costs as much as a sit-down meal, nobody's smiling anymore. There's a deeper lesson here, one that goes beyond McDonald's itself. It's about what happens when a company forgets why people loved it in the first place. When profits replace purpose and metrics replace meaning. McDonald's isn't alone in that journey. It's just the most visible example. They built a global empire on emotional connection and affordable comfort. Now they're testing how long that connection lasts when the comfort disappears. But the truth is, people remember. They remember when fast food felt like community, not calculation. They remember late-night fries after long shifts, road trip breakfasts, and the feeling that even if life wasn't perfect, a burger and Coke could make it better for a moment. You can't replace that with data analytics. You can't automate that with AI kiosks. And you can't charge $20 for nostalgia forever. Eventually, the feeling fades, and all that's left is a receipt that doesn't make sense. That's what McDonald's is facing now. Not a PR crisis, but a spiritual one. They didn't just raise prices. They broke an unspoken promise. They told people that comfort was conditional, that loyalty had a price. And now, the customers who once made them untouchable are turning away. Not with rage, but with quiet disappointment, the kind that hurts worse than outrage because it means they've stopped caring. And that's the part McDonald's can't fix with ads or slogans. You can lower prices, offer deals, release throwback menus, but once people stop believing, the magic is gone. The arches still stand, but the meaning behind them is fading. Because McDonald's didn't just cross the line on price. They crossed the line on trust. And once you lose trust, no amount of marketing can buy it back. Still, there's a glimmer of hope if they listen. If McDonald's remembers why people cared in the first place. If they stop chasing Wall Street numbers long enough to see Main Street's pain. If they choose empathy over algorithms, value over vanity. Because the world doesn't need another luxury burger. It needs a company that remembers who it's feeding. But for now, that's just wishful thinking. The receipts keep climbing, the backlash keeps growing, and the company keeps pretending it's all under control. Maybe one day they'll realize the truth, that the real cost of their strategy isn't in lost sales, but in lost souls. The customers who once saw those golden arches as a symbol of belonging now see them as a warning. A warning of what happens when corporations mistake loyalty for blindness. McDonald's just crossed the line, and for the first time in decades, the world noticed. Thanks for watching Financial Focus, where we follow the money and uncover the truth behind it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next story they don't want you to see.